Good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Willie, and it's the encouraging word for today. This past week, I was reading through one of the Psalms, Psalm number 102. It's a psalm of a man who's afflicted, it says on the top, in the note on the top. And I got to one verse, and it's like the verse jumped out at the page at me, and it spoke to my condition, my situation that I was thinking about in my life. Has that ever happened to you where God made a verse, maybe you've read it many times, but in this moment in your life, it became real and you had an understanding of it? And I'm speaking about Psalm 102, verse number 23. And it says this: "In the course of my life, he broke my strength. He cut short my days." In the course of my life, he broke my strength. That's what struck me. And why would God break his strength? Why would God not give him the strength to do things? And I applied it to myself because so many times I want to do many things for God. I want to see God move in powerful ways. And so I work, I plan, I do so many things, but I don't have the strength. And God breaks my strength. Why would he do that? And as I prayed about it, I thought about it, because I felt like I was in a place where God broke my strength. And I realized, I've reached my limit. I can't continue to try to do ministry, to try to build God's kingdom. I can't. I don't have the strength. And then God gave me an insight. He directed me to 2 Corinthians, where Paul, it's an amazing book, and I'm going to go back and study it more, but where Paul is at the end of himself. And then he says he even despairs even of life. But then he says, this happened so that I would not depend on myself, but on God, who raises the dead, who does the impossible, so to speak. So God, I believe, breaks my strength and maybe breaks your strength so that our dependence, so our dependence will no longer be on ourselves, but on God. And then in chapter 12 of 2 Corinthians, in verse 10, Paul, as he's developing this idea that his strength is broken, but God has the strength, he says, "For when I am weak, then I am strong." When I am weak, then I am strong. So I had the insight. I saw immediately God breaks our strength. In the course of our life, he broke my strength. Why? Not because God's mean, not because of punishment, but so that we would depend on him and no longer be living and ministering and working for God in our own strength, but we would start doing things in his strength. And that's a message for me. And so my goal I always set a goal, always set a plan, but my goal is no longer to do things in my strength, hallelujah, but to do things in his strength, And that's going to be my goal for the rest of my life, because he broke my strength. I don't have the strength to do what he asks me to do. But he has the strength through me to do what he asks me to do. And I share that with you because that's an insight I know that will help you in your life, whatever you face. He lets us come to the end of our strength. So now, we think it's the end, but it's the beginning of a whole new life, living in the power of the resurrection. So God bless you, and I will see you tomorrow.